Global debt hits a record high of 313 trillion dollars. You thought I was going to fool you for a second, and let's say it was just less. No, what are we doing here? We have massive amounts of debt, and we don't know what to do with it. We have no idea. I feel like Dr. Evil here. $100 million or $1 million. Like, what are we doing? Where does this go? Where does this go at the end of the day? And then you're going to get into all this, jargon here and there of, going through this and actually like talking your way out of it. When you're in a system that's collapsing, this is akin to being on the Titanic, the Fiat debt-based legacy monetary Titanic, and you're like over there like scooping with your shovel to get water out of buckets, and you're like trying to like dump it back overboard. And this is the thing that I don't understand for the life of me. I get why the Christine Lagarde and the people in their seats of power and inside the halls of power, I get why they're doing what they're doing, because they have no other choice. They have, in order to keep their role, to keep that paycheck coming in, because they don't know how to make a living otherwise, other than just grift and graft and being in the halls of power and sucking up to the teat as close as you can to the currency printer and the people that run it. They want to keep that job. They want to keep that gravy train rolling. Period. End of story. There's no other explanation for what is happening. And the average person, though, that's the thing that I don't understand. The average person is what I really have a hard time with. How are you not paying attention to what's going on? How are you not figuring out and seeing things and saying, you know what, my life's getting worse and worse. Things are getting worse and worse around the world. What am I doing here? Why are we having such a hard time? Why do I keep paying taxes on a currency that is being devalued, and they just print more of it in the basement of the Treasury and the Fed? What are we doing? Why am I doing this? Well, the answer is coming. And people like Cameron McGregor talk about this, the rise of neo-masculinity, really an age of abundance. We're going into an age of scarcity where people don't know what to do. They are shell-shocked. They are lacking. We're going to be transitioning from, as he says, and he calls it the men of words to the men of action, and going from people who talk and who are the ones that can kind of see the things coming and talk about it in a sense. I'm paraphrasing, but then we're going to men of action, things that people that actually do something about it. So we're really entering or leaving that age of the people talking about it, or going to that point to now a world where we're going to change. We're actually going to change, and because it's coming to a head, it's really starting to unearth itself. Because an article like this, what does it mean? I mean, does anyone understand what's going on? The average person, again, they rate these things and make them so complicated, with Fed rate cuts on the horizon, but they're saying that there's not. The Fed's saying there might not be rate cuts, and maybe there are. They're constantly sending mixed signals to the market. They don't know what they're doing. They are trying to put out trial balloons, see what people respond to, and see what's going to happen. Because at the end of the day, Fiat is all about psychology. That's it. This is just a psychological engine, and that's all it is. If people believe the dollar is worth nothing tomorrow, it would be worth nothing tomorrow. Same thing with Bitcoin. Same thing with gold and silver. If people believe it's worth something, then it's worth something. If people don't believe it's worth anything, then it's not worth anything. That's why the charade is there, to continually keep up the value of the dollar. Now, people use Bitcoin for things. They use gold and silver for things. That's why those things actually have intrinsic value, because there's the ability to actually use the asset for something. Unlike the dollar is just a piece of paper. It's literally is good for about kindling for a fire, and that's about it. So this is coming to a head, and I think everything, people want to talk about, they want to give Kiyosaki a hard time a lot. He's one of my biggest financial mentors for the last 15 years, and he doesn't say anything. He says the same thing over and over again. Or, tell us what to do. People want hot stock tips. They want to be told what to do. They don't want to put in the work. They want a new opportunity. They don't want to improve or get better. They just want a new opportunity. They want to be told that their old opportunity is wrong, that they failed at, and that they want a new thing, a new opportunity. Hence why Bitcoin is doing so well, because it's a new opportunity. It's saying, what we're doing here, one sentence persuasion. We're throwing our rocks at our enemies. We're telling you the old system doesn't work, and it can't work, and it's not going to work. Trying to talk your way out of a paper bag here. And we're giving the new opportunity, saying, here it is. Do you want a new opportunity in life? Do you want to be able to save your time and energy, your wealth, in a finite asset equal to your finite time and energy? Or do you not? Here it is. If you want that, if you find some value in that, so you're not just throwing your time and energy away, then you might want to check out Bitcoin. You might want to study it. If not, if you like the current system, if you like division and hatred and polarization and distraction and dividing, if you like those things and you like class warfare and you like ageism and you like all these things, racism, all these things are emanating from a fiat debt-based legacy monetary system. All those things are started and perpetuated in a system based on broken currency. Capitalism itself, we've never actually had true capitalism over the last 110 years because we haven't had a real monetary foundation. Capitalism has to be on a true money, a real money. We've never had that. Well, we've had that in 110 years at least, since the Federal Reserve started determining what the cost of the currency was with their interest rates and printing. So, moral story is, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Be a part of the new world. Start talking and building and spending your time in the new world, in the world that you want to see. What are you doing? What kind of time and energy are you putting? Are you putting time and energy into the old system? That's why I got out of real estate. It's the old system. That's why I don't talk about the other asset classes. I don't talk about other assets because they're inside the old system. They're inside the legacy system. All the different things, the pensions, 401ks. We just did videos this week on pensions, 401ks, life insurance, real estate, bonds, you name it, stocks. All these things are encapsulated in the old system, denominated in dollars, in a failing system, in a Titanic that is going down. It is slipping beneath the waves right now. And just because the average person can't see it yet doesn't mean it's not happening, right? As Ayn Rand said, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of reality. And that's what me personally and what we do here. It's the reason I work with Bitcoin trading cards, to educate people, to find different ways and better ways to start educating people and figuring out what is happening, right? Educating people about the truth that is not being told in the legacy media or in politics, and that the things we've gotten away from. So how can we better ourselves? How can we become the best version of ourselves? And how can we rid ourselves and get back to first principles and natural law? How can we rid ourselves of this really satanic, evil fiat currency that breaks, by the way, multiple commandments just by its very existence? Think about that. Think about how wrong you are. Think about how directionally wrong you are when you're using a currency that breaks multiple commandments at its very existence. Think about that. Mind blowing. I'll leave you with that. Please share this out. The algorithm hates truth. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. Trust but verify what I'm saying. Please. And these videos are meant to make people think. They're meant to make people dive in, shift their context, to start understanding the world we're in. I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to be able to ever give all the answers. I'm showing you what I see, what I've been studying for 20 years, the way I think, which is probably 5 to 20 years out. That's generally how I think. Where's the puck going? An old hockey analogy from Wayne Gretzky. So again, the $313 trillion, ask yourself at the end of the day, what are we doing with that? Where does that go? How many wars are going to be started because of that? Is that a system we want, or should we be building a new system with a new asset and a whole new paradigm? Clearly, this one's going down. You can't just print your way out of a debt problem. Someone must pay the piper. Who's it going to be? Sure as heck ain't going to be me. I'm going to do everything in my power to be outside that system. And that's why we talk about Bitcoin, gold, silver, guns, food, ammo, energy, water, land, and building community. Number one, digitally, like we're doing here, and then your local ranchers, farmers, your network of people around you, friends and family. Appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.